What up, guys? It is Grant's Comics here, and today we're going to review Amazing Spider-Man 86 from the Beyond storyline with this awesome cover of Ben Reilly Spider-Man, just like he's like crouching down, all in like not really fear, but like sadness, depression. He's like kind of reminds me of that J. Scott Campbell cover from like the early 2000s. I don't know if it's an homage to it or not, but it's a very cool cover. Like I said, I do love covers when it's just the characters. I don't like covers when like a lot of stuff is going on. So this is actually very cool, and it is the main Spider-Man. And I'm trying. I know it's a little. I know when I review comics or I get comics for certain titles, I'm like, man, now I want to complete this run, and Amazing Spider-Man is one of them. So I want to try and collect. I want to do mostly old school Amazing Spider-Man, but current ones are awesome too. So that's my lifetime goal as a comic book collector and a comic book fan and a Spider-Man fan. I want to be able to collect as much ASMs as possible, modern or old school. And let's be real, I'm not gonna be able to have the first appearance of the Green Goblin or first appearance of Electro or first appearance of Doc Ock. I'm never gonna get that. It will be a miracle for that to happen. All right. So I'm just gonna try and get whichever main Spider-Man comics I can afford and get. So that's cool, you know. And if I get a comic book collection for a good deal, and let's say Amazing Spider-Man, what, 15, the first appearance of Green Goblin was in there, that's cool. I'll enjoy that, you know. But for now, for me, it is what it is. I'm not the kind of collector that's like, oh, I need this to complete that. I need the big boys, you know. I'm not that kind of collector. And plus, when I like focus on certain things, I'm like focused on that one thing. Like right now, yeah, I want to do ASM, but for now, I'm going to do the Web of Spider-Man because it's a shorter run than the Amazing Spider-Man run. So right now, I'm focusing on Web of Spider-Man. But enough with that. We're gonna focus on ASM 86. So apparently, in this issue, Ben Reilly, as you guys know, is the clone of Peter Parker, or in some cases, Peter Parker is the clone of Ben Reilly, according to Ben Reilly. So apparently, he's in therapy. He's telling the therapist or the person who works at Beyond what he remembers, what he's been going through, and the Beyond Corporation is watching the therapist and Ben Reilly talk stories. And apparently, I don't know if it's in the previous issue or if the whole Beyond storyline is where the Beyond Corporation brainwashes or erases Ben Reilly's memory, but the therapist kind of helps Ben Reilly try to fix his memory because he doesn't remember much. The only thing he remembers is his girlfriend Jamie, and he kind of remembers that he's Spider-Man, but he doesn't know like the events that happened in the past. So they erase his memory, or at least they try to. They erase half of his memory. The only thing he remembers is like Doc Ock. That's it. He remembers that. He doesn't even remember being created by the Jackal. That's how bad they erase his memory. So the therapist tries to help Ben Reilly kind of get his memory back, but the Beyond Corporation kind of like the Beyond Corporation comes in and says, you know what, enough with this shit. We're taking Ben Reilly and we're gonna erase his memory completely. So they take him to like what is that? Not the emergency room, like the bed where they do the surgical bed, and they kind of try to like erase his memory completely just because the Beyond Corporation, for one, they don't want him to remember that he's Spider-Man. That's number one. Number two, they want Ben Reilly to be their Spider-Man, like be an evil version of Spider-Man. So in that case, this Spider-Man, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, can fight the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man. So that's where this issue is going right now. And like I said, the therapist who used to, or still kind of did work for Beyond, she's trying to help him, like, okay, this happened to you at some point. This happened to you at some point. So she's trying to help Ben out, while the other guy's like, bro, you work for us. Why are you helping Spider-Man? You know. So it's really like complex in a way. So I'll show you some of the highlights in this issue. So of course we got the cover, and then we got, so he's like, here's him in like the surgical room. You can kind of see like Doc Ock is like, he has no face, and he's talking to Doc Ock. He's like slowly disappearing. So this is kind of when they find out about that the therapist is helping Ben Reilly. So Jamie is Ben Reilly's like girlfriend or wife. So see, they know now that the therapist is trying to help him out, and she's like, no, don't do this again to him. So and then Jamie, the girlfriend of Ben Reilly, used to be an assassin, and then this dude is like, everything's gonna be okay with Ben Reilly, and she doesn't like it. She's like, you want me to kill you? She's like, something about, well, so the guy says, well, we think it's for the best of your history. Then Jamie goes, oh, you mean all the years I spent in prison with murderers like me? So the guy says, we don't need to get that. And then Jamie's like, no, but maybe it's the best we start remembering it. So she went to prison for murder, I guess. So that's kind of scary. And then another highlight. So this, like I said, this whole time, especially in the beginning, there's the Ben Reilly with the therapist, and then there's some flashbacks where he's like intruding the Beyond building. So it's just like, yeah, it's just the therapist and Ben Reilly for most of it, and you see like Jamie and Ben Reilly. I don't know if it's like flashbacks or something. It looks like it's flashbacks, and then you get back to the therapist, and then you see Beyond is watching the therapist talk to Ben Reilly, and then of course it's just back and forth between the therapist and the corporation, and they kind of see he's like hallucinating. Like Ben Reilly is like hallucinating. He doesn't remember who he is. He doesn't know who he sees in the mirror. And then it gets to this where he's like all delusional and stuff. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty like amazing. So yeah, that's it for now. Amazing Spider-Man 86 from 2002. So if you guys ain't subscribed to Grant's Comics and you guys are watching this video, make sure you subscribe to the Grant's Comics. Give this video some thumbs up. Share this video and Grant's Comics channel to the comic book community. And if you guys are subscribed to Grant's Comics and you guys watch this video, also give this video a thumbs up. Share this video and share Grant's Comics channel to the comic book community. I'll see you guys on the next video. Alright.